Now that we've verified that our MIDI interface is working, let's go ahead and record an instrument track. So under the Project pull-down menu, select Add Track and then Instrument. And then you're going to see the Add Instrument Track dialog box, and it's going to look one of two ways. What we want to do is we want to see the browser. So if your Add Instrument Track window looks small, like this one, go ahead and click on the Browse button. And then I'm going to reposition this so that we can see it on my screen. And then, just to make sure that the browser is going to find the sound that I'm going to recommend, make sure that your search results window doesn't have anything in it, that it just says search results. If there is something in there, you'll want to get rid of it by highlighting it, hitting your backspace key, and then clicking out of the window to make sure that there's nothing in there. And then go ahead and click on the Reset Filter button so that we have access to all the sounds that are inside of Cubase. So now, click on Keyboard in the Category column, and then in the Subcategory column, select E-Piano for electric piano, and then in the Search Results window, scroll all the way down to the very bottom and find Vintage Mark I. And just single click on Vintage Mark I, and that's going to take a moment to load the sounds from your computer's hard drive into this track so that we can audition it. But as soon as that sound is loaded, you can play your MIDI keyboard to audition the sound. So I'm playing some notes on my MIDI controller, and I can hear that Vintage Mark I piano. If I wanted to choose a different sound, like the TX digital piano, I'm going to wait just a moment. Now that sound is available, so I can audition any of these sounds, but let's go ahead and load the Vintage Mark I patch into this new instrument track. And so I'm just going to click on Add Track. That's going to add a new track to my track column, and make sure that the track is record enabled and that the MIDI track that we had recorded in the last video is not record enabled. So now let's go ahead and record some MIDI information onto this instrument track, and since it's an instrument track and the instrument is coming out of Cubase, we're going to be able to hear this sound while we record. So I'm going to click on the record button and just record some notes. So, we're seeing the same sort of information that we saw on the MIDI track. However, since we assigned it to a sound inside of Cubase, we're hearing that instrument that we had chosen, and that's an instrument track. Let's go ahead and play that back and make sure that we are still able to hear that information. So we have a MIDI track recorded without a destination. That's why we can't hear it. But we also have recorded our first instrument track. So the only thing left to do is to record an audio track, and we'll do that in the next video.